So for people who are watching who may not know your story, which I actually discovered after you had already graciously, we were doing King and I, but you sort of began or first appeared on the scene. I stumbled on it in cable. There was a contest in Great Britain to find the most promising musical theater talent.
Yeah, when I was 19.
When you were 19, and Andrew Lloyd Webber and all these people were doing it. I'm sort of watching this and I'm like, that's Laura Michelle. And
yeah, it was called the Voice of Musical Theatre competition.
Right.
And I actually grew up doing community theatre, which is why I love the Muny so much. Yeah. Because although it's completely professional, you include teenagers who maybe don't go to stage school yet, or maybe have a talent towards that. And I love that. And it's definitely very community based. Like, there's a lot of people that have been coming for decades, and this is how I grew up, doing this sort of thing. And then at 17, because I'd done such a weight of shows like you do here, and some kids get to do 2-3 different shows each year, which is incredible, which is like what I did. And because I had the weight of that experience behind me, at 17 I auditioned for Beauty and the Beast, and I got the part in London. London's West End, it's like the same as Broadway. And I understudied Belle, and I got on for 2 whole weeks as Belle at 17.
That's incredible.
I even had braces at the time. They couldn't believe I could hit an E. No, top E above C, and they were just like, couldn't. I got to work with so many amazing professionals, because they, like that you do here, people come in, I put them on my CV, and that has weight behind it. Gives people a chance. And so I grew up doing that, and then won this competition, and I just managed to do
You're being modest. I remember there was a point when, and it was being reported in the international press, that Cameron Mackintosh and Andrew Lloyd Webber were fighting over you for either Women in White or Mary Poppins.
That was the press take on it.
Well, it was exciting.
No, I would never turn down one over another, but it was Women in White and it was Mary Poppins, and I'd already turned down Women in White at that point, knowing that there was I was doing other jobs, which is why I couldn't make that happen. But Mary Poppins came later. I was doing Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway, so I couldn't do Women in White. That was the reason. But someone put it out there.
So, I'm going to do a bunch of, as a producer and someone who so deeply appreciates, admires your work. I've sort of watched you work, and every artist has their own rhythm, their own method, and you're fascinating to me, because I see this constant sense of investigation when you're in rehearsal. Like, there is never a moment where if you're not in a scene with somebody, you're off by yourself, and I see you sort of carving, and I just wonder, where did you learn that? What is that process like for you?
I think you have to love what you do, and it's like a painter. Keep painting whether someone thinks it's pretty or not. You just keep, and I always say no to things if I don't think I can do it great.
Let's talk about that.
I never want to be I never want to be just good enough. I want to be great, exceptional, because otherwise what's the point in doing anything?
So how do you know if something's right for you?
I get a sense of, I can do this better than anyone. If I don't, and I think anybody could do this, or that I can bring something completely unique, then I won't say yes. And other people find it very frustrating when I say no to things, because they think they don't understand that process I have. I say no a lot, but it means I'm out of work more than I could be. But I just don't want to do something unless it brings something unique and new to the world. Otherwise, there's enough things that are mediocre. I just don't want to be mediocre.
So I've watched you with the Muny teens and the Muny kids. I mean, we had obviously more kids in King and I last year. We've got some of our teens in South Pacific. And you're so generous with them, and you're so kind, and you're so supportive. So I'm just wondering, for any young performer who's watching this video, what advice would you give them? Oh
my gosh, go for it. I mean, if anyone would say it was impossible for me to do the jobs I'm doing, everyone would say I was the candidate for impossibility. I tell that to everyone. I never went to stage school. Our family was so poor, we couldn't have afforded stage school. I mean, no matter what walk of life you come from, that qualifies you because you're unique. What qualifies you is, and the world would say, oh, you're not going to make it because you've got so many things against you. But I would say the more things you got against you, the more you qualify to succeed.